A very warm good afternoon to Dr. Nisha, who is the expert speaker for this session. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Nisha Singh on this third day of this faculty development program on emerging tools and trends in contemporary research. I also welcome all the distinguished participants from all parts of the country to this third day of the faculty development program. Before I ask Dr. Rekha, Department of Commerce, NAS College to please present a brief profile of ma'am, I really want to highlight one thing. I just got a chance to listen to ma'am's expert talk in one of the programs organized by Punjab University Chandigarh. Ma'am was talking on open educational resources. I was so fascinated, with the talk, with the presentation, that immediately when the thought came into my mind that we have to organize a faculty development program, and that too on research and new areas of research, where I all personally believe that open educational resources are one of the important role playing nowadays in the present research. I requested ma'am and she very kindly accepted my invitation. It's my honor, and I'm really thankful to ma'am for accepting this invitation. Now I request Dr. Rekha Garg, Department of Commerce, NAS College Meerut, to please present a brief profile of ma'am. Rekha.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all. We are on the third day of this 7-day faculty.
Rekha, your voice is cracking. Your voice is cracking.
Yes, sir.
Your voice is cracking. Please go ahead. And if this time it will crack, then I'll have to introduce ma'am. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I feel immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Nisha Singh, an expert of today's session. Dr. Nisha Singh at present is working as Deputy Director working as a director in the University Consortium for Technology, enabled flexible education and development. Dr. Singh joined Indira Gandhi National Open University in 2009 as a program officer. Before joining IGNOU, working as a in education and science university. She has a long classroom teaching experience and as a senior educator in various training institutions, Department of Education, Delhi, College for Women, Varanasi, and in the Open University, Bareilly. She has classes. She has guided 3 places. She has published a book entitled Development of Monastic Education in India, and to her credit, there are more than 20 articles and papers in various books and journals. Her specializations are e-learning, online learning, instructional designing, education of exceptional children, and ICT applications in education. And OER are the areas of her interest. She worked as a resource person, facilitator in various training programs and workshops organized by IGNOU and other educational institutions. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome, ma'am.
Because I have also seen your FDPs and they're quite good. So being a part of it is like a module. Happy to be here. So, let me start with something which is very basic. As openness. That is, I want to read an article. This article of Mahajan. Okay, I'm interested in this. I want to hear about it. I want to read it. So I come to know that it is published in a journal or a book, and I want to access it. I went to internet, I saw, but not open. I can read the abstract, but I want to know what exactly he's talking about. What is the democracy, the new perception of democracy he's talking about? Article is at the moment I ask for a article, the article, it says pay $10 for accessing the article. What do I do? I don't know. Maybe I'm just interested. It is not even my research area, but since democracy is my interest area, I want to read it. But for one article, $10, then I'll think, okay, let me do with the abstract only. Or I'll try to find out, okay, who is Dr. Mahajan, and I'll just request him, sir, I came to know about your article. Can you share this enough, right enough to share that article? I'll get benefited from the article. So if as a researcher, if as a faculty member, if as a student of, say, of academics, of any area of academics, want to adhere to this. And that is why there are two paths which are going on.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Voice is breaking.
I don't know what's wrong. Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am, it is better now.
Okay. Just keep informing me. I don't know. There's something wrong. Like yesterday, also I was doing on WebEx.
Yeah,
The problem comes, but I don't know. It doesn't come in Zoom and Meet.
that's true. That's true.
So just tell me. I'll try to
But believe WebEx
find out.
requires more of a bandwidth, ma'am. I think that is the problem.
Okay. So
Yeah.
any option I can use?
No, I don't feel, ma'am. But now it is okay, ma'am. Now it's okay.
Okay. Microphone area. Use system settings. Microphone. Okay. Let me just try one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am. It is better. Yes.
So if it's not better, then tell me again.
Sure,
I'll
ma'am. Sure.
just try to. So this is the access to knowledge, the access to new information, the access to something which we are interested in. If it is behind a barrier of money or even permission, like suppose it's an article where I don't have to pay money, but I'll have to write to the author or the publisher that kindly allow me to access it, then maybe then again it's a barrier. So the barrier of money, the barrier of permission, these are the barriers to knowledge. We always see by philosophy, by the general principle of natural justice, the principle of culture, the evenness, equality, and all, knowledge should be available to everyone. And that is why we have this philosophy of openness, which says that knowledge should not be bound by any barriers. And I mean any. Be it the barrier of gender, be it the barrier of country or money or any other barrier, it should not be by any barrier. So, having said that, let me just share my PPT with you. Tracks. Just a minute. Give me 2 minutes to share. I'll just present, and I'm presenting. Yeah. So openness and research and exploration. Yeah.
Not able to see your presentation, ma'am.
It'll come. It'll come.
Okay.
Just a minute. Just a minute. I forgot to share. Just a minute. Sometimes we get so engrossed in talking.
Yeah, that's.
Share content. Hit it is only allowing me to share the file and the whiteboard. I cannot share anything else.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Because I'll be needing.
Yeah, yeah. Is it coming, ma'am, now? Just a minute, ma'am. Has it come, ma'am? Yeah. Yes, it is okay, ma'am, now.
Thank you so much. I'll go back to the first slide. This is open search and exploration. Basically,
The problem is of voice, ma'am. Only the voice. I think you will have to put your near to your mouth. Yeah.
the concept of is it better?
Yeah, ma'am. It is better now.
Okay. So the concept of openness, and we see that concept of openness is with many things like open access. We'll be talking more and more about it. Open access means anybody, the door is open for everyone. Yes, we are open, as the picture says. That is open to anyone who wants to access it. So, open content is the content which is available across the internet for anybody to use. For example, tomorrow I have to, or in a week, I have to prepare a course on e-learning. Suddenly, that is has been assigned to me by my university or my college or wherever I am. And then, how can I make a course on e-learning in such a short notice? Don't worry. There is a lot of content available. Just go and search for open content. And that content can be used without any payment, without any permission. The only clause is that you have to attribute. That is, if I'm using a e-learning course, say Professor Sharma was here yesterday. He's a great expert in e-learning. So he has got a course of e-learning. So I'll just use Professor Sharma's course and I'll say that I am using Professor Sharma's course. Attribution. You just have to attribute, acknowledge. And I think that is the simplest and the most basic moral value we should all have, that if we are using somebody's things, we must acknowledge that yes, it belongs to, that it was developed by, or it belongs to the author or whosoever is the owner. Then open courseware, when the whole content is arranged in a course, proper course, and the curriculum, you have the resources. It is called as open. There are courseware which are available, and you can just go and access in your area. Sorry, I'll talk about it a little later. Then open source softwares are there. The softwares which are free, which can be used by everyone, anyone, in fact, everyone and anyone. Then open education, where the rules are more flexible. It is open to everyone. Like, for example, in your university, in DU, in any other university, though the minimum percentage for taking admission in a BA course is, say, 50% or most of the students who are applying have got 80%. So the cutoff, as we say, the cutoff is 70%. So that is all do not have the opportunity to study in that particular university. But in open education, no such restriction is there. And if you have the minimum eligibility, you will be able to get admission. And that is what we say that. And even the duration is quite flexible. A 2 years post graduation course one can do in 4 years, give one paper at a time, and so forth, so on and so forth. And then, of course, open educational resources, which are the educational resources which are available to anyone and everyone, free of cost, to be used. The only condition is that you have to, but other conditions, like if you're using it for free, talking about it. Another concept which I just what is open source software. I just want to share it here is because open source softwares are those softwares where we share the source code. And why I'm mentioning it, because um, uh, this is in sync with the philosophy of openness. That is, for example, I make the best of the cakes in, say, Delhi. I stay in Delhi. So anybody who wants the cake, I'll say, okay, fine, come, I'll give you free. So anytime anybody comes, I'll give the cake free. So it is like Google. Anybody who goes to Google, you get Google application for free. So they are free. So it's like free cake. Nisha gives free cake to everyone who asks for it, right? But suppose I put egg in my cakes and you don't take eggs. So in lieu of egg, you want to put some kind of you can put some oil or some butter. But what is happening is I do not share that. You say, okay, fine, I'll have to travel from Meerut or I'll have to travel from, say, some other place to Delhi. Why don't you tell me the recipe? I'll try it myself, and maybe over the time I can bake cakes as good as you. But I say no, I will not share the recipe. The recipe is closed. That is, recipe is my own. It is my secret. It is my own. I have copyright to it. I will not share. So that means that I am not sharing the recipe. So source is the recipe of a software. Source code we call it. Source code are the recipe of the software. So if you do not tell the recipe of the software, then if we want to make any changes in the software, that we cannot do. We cannot contextualize it. See, if the software is made in America, like for the education system of, say, USA, and we want to implement in the education system of India, there must be some tweaking. But if you don't tell me the recipe, how will I do the tweaking? So those softwares which allow you to make changes, they share their source code with you, are known as open source software. Yes, there are, and very popular open source softwares, like you have Mozilla, like this is a browser. Then you have Ubuntu, which is parallel to Windows. You have Linux. Then you have WordPress, Java, OpenOffice. If you don't have your MS Word suite in your obviously go for LibreOffice, OpenOffice. Then the one which is very popular and which is very upcoming these days is an LMS, which is called as Moodle. There are two LMS. I will just give an example. One is the Google Classroom. Google Classroom is available for everyone, and it is very quite easy, very easy. And it's like any other Google application, it is free to use. But, oh, sorry. But when but Moodle is an LMS, Moodle, which is open source. Like if you want to install in your server, you install it and you can run it. It's free of cost. If you want to make any changes into it, it becomes you can do the changes. That is, the recipe of Moodle is shared with you, whereas the recipe of Google Classroom is not shared with you. So this is the basic difference. And if you want to go further ahead, go for advanced changes, then of course open source is the best option which one can take other than the proprietary software. Then OER, or the Open Education Resources, was a term which was coined in the year 2000. Impact of higher education, and as the definition says, teaching, learning and research material in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation and redistribution by others with no or limited risk. The gist of this definition says that any material which is for teaching or learning or research, which is available in it as a digital medium, and it is available in the public domain or freely released on the internet, and it allows you to have to access it, to use it, to adapt it, and there's no cost involved, and you can also redistribute it. So all those restrictions are not there. They are open. Then it is called as an OER. So how did OER started, or the whole concept of Wayne Hodgins was a researcher who was a software developer. He found that coined a term called learning object. Learning object is basically the digital material, the small digital material which has got its own existence. Say, for example, if we talk about cell we teach in biology also, physiology also, in biochemistry, in home science. So if you make a, please resolve the voice issue. How do I go about? Okay, let me just try. Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so I'll try without the mic.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So in case it works, then let's try it. Okay. So your microphone is unmuted, right? Fine. I'll just share the slides again. I was here. So basically, so if we have these small learning objects, and like it can be used across the disciplines. So there came the concept as to the learning object, the learning material can also be in small units, modules which are self-contained and reusable units, and that is why they said that these small units are called learning objects, and they were also called as reusable learning objects, RLO. That means they can be used again and again. So one was the concept of reusing the material once developed over the internet. The other was that there was a meta, since there were a lot of material being developed, then identification of that material, the details about that material became very important. It's like, for example, if you think of a lot of things, lot of files in your cupboard, then what do is you put a small label on the cover of the file with the saying that the important details of the file. So similarly, the important details which we call as metadata, like what is the name of the module, what is the who is the author of the module, etc., and then when was it made, a small just summary of the same. So that was called as a detailing metadata. And then another thing is that it can be used across the platforms, like suppose if we make it on Windows, then it should also be applicable. It should also run on Mac system also. So all that, like we call it as COM package, that is they are shareable across the platforms. So these three things this came into. Then in 1998, David Wiley, he gave the concept of open content, that the content, by the virtue of it being for the growth of knowledge, for the growth of humanity, it should be made available to everyone, and that he labeled as open content. In fact, he established a open publication house also, open publication license also, and then he did a lot of work. In fact, he is still working in this particular area. And then if you just type and type in the Google David Wiley, you'll find a lot of material about what he believes in openness and all those resources. Then in 2001 was a remarkable year when we saw that there was another license which was given by Larry Lessig. They were much stronger licenses. In fact, most of the open things have this the Creative Commons license. So Larry Lessig in 2001 gave this. They were more flexible. They were strong labeling. And there was another thing which happened was in 2001 that MIT came up with Open Courseware initiative. That is, they released some of their courseware, some of their course material as open. Of course, not all, but some as open courseware. And MIT is a big name in the field, and that is why what happened was there was a lot of attention on it, and there was a lot of people started looking at it and they started working on it, thinking about it and discussing it. And in the year 2002, UNESCO came up with a term called open educational resources. 2002, it was the first time. Similarly, this was related to the teaching learning material. Similarly, there were things happening. People were also talking about this is open education resources were basically for teaching and learning. That a focus was basically on teaching and learning. Though the definition said teaching, learning, and research material, but focus was basically on teaching and learning and reusing it and revising it and remixing it. There was another thing that those material may be used over and over again. Say what I'm teaching today or what you teach in your class today, next year if you teach, they will not be, especially in humanities and the social sciences, the rate of change of knowledge is not so fast as in sciences. In sciences, a lot of experiments, like even if you see the present times, in the COVID times, हर रोज एक नया research आ रहा है. कभी ये कि it is airborne, कभी आ रहा है कि it is surface borne. I was listening to the radio. I'm fond of radios because I can combine the knowledge, I can combine the hearing and my daily task. And by this mode, I'm saving on the bandwidth also. I'm saving on the I can do multitasking very easily. So I was listening to that. So and it said that the way we were so fearful of the expansion of the COVID-19 through the surfaces, it is not so serious. I don't know. I did not hear the detail, and I'm really not saying it because I did not explore it. But then that was one of the statement by one of the doctors from AIMS in the Air India All India programs. So that is what I'm saying. That research in sciences, it's an ongoing. There's a lot of pressure for vaccine. Sometimes India claims that we have got the vaccine or we'll get it by August. Some other country, there was a newspaper clipping that Russia has claimed that they have gone to the second stage. In fact, that day there was like in UK they have crossed one cycle of the human trial. So all that is basically scientific research, and that changes. Even in social sciences, if you want to go for research, you basically don't want to revise that material, but you want to use it to further your research. And for that particular literature, there's an openness which is called as open access. Basically, the literature which is digital, which is online, which is free of charge, and we're free of most of the copyright and licensing restrictions. Like copyright, that I don't have to ask Dr. Mahajan that, Dr. Mahajan, may I read your article? That restriction is not there. Then the licensing restriction is also not there. That is copyrighted, and then I have to pay $10 or $20 for access. So basically, open access removes price barrier. There's no licensing fee. There is no per view barrier or any subscription, plus the permission barrier. Like you don't have to ask for permission to the publisher or the author, but it is available for you to read, get benefited, and use it for your literature, for your research. If you look at this, earlier I was talking about the whole openness, how openness came into being into academics and into the field. Then there was another aspect to it. That is, it was the Budapest. There was a meeting or a conference or some kind of a congregation of people who are of the like-minded, the open society people. That there was a society. So they came together in Budapest. And then they came up with the open access initiative. They said that this initiative is like syncing the two things. One is the old tradition, which says that the scientists and the scholars want to publish the fruits of their researches. जो भी उन्होंने पाया है, जो भी ज्ञान मुझे मिला है, उसको देने को. Even if you look at the Indian culture, it has been there that जो हमने पाया है वो बांटने में जैसे होता नहीं था पुराने टाइम में कि if you give it for free, then only that power will be with you. Otherwise, अगर आप पैसा लेने लग जाएंगे तो आपकी शक्तियां चली जाएंगी. Remember, we have in our culture or these stories जिसमें if you have got some knowledge or some सिद्धि है आपके पास कोई, तो अगर आप उसको फ्री में बांट रहे हैं लोगों के भले के लिए, तो आपके पास कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. यू विल हैव दैट दोस पावर्स एंड द कैपेबिलिटीज. बट द मोमेंट आप उसको पैसे के लिए लेने लग जाएंगे तो आपसे वो सिद्धियां या शक्तियां चली जाएंगी. सो लुक एट द थॉट दैट हैज बीन देयर, दैट knowledge, these capabilities, they have to be distributed for the common good free of charge, no money, right? And the other is the technology. We are trying to sync the two, the old tradition of sharing the knowledge and the new tradition of internet, that everything which is of public good, which is for taking the knowledge to newer heights, that should be available on internet, free of cost. And that is why sometimes you read over the newspaper or over the discussions that there are a lot of efforts to make internet a free place. There are efforts by the companies, the corporates, that internet should be not as free as it is today. That accessing the internet and other things should be accessing the information on the internet should be closed. But no, people are believing, people are thinking that it should be free. Even, you know, this when I was talking about OER in 2012, there was a big declaration in Paris, and in which our country also participated, that said that most of the countries who are developing any material, any content or any project through the public funded money should be made open to everyone. And that is why I'll tell you the way EPG Pathshala, even the Swayam is open access. You have the material to everyone. Then NPTEL, NROER, these are the initiatives which said that the knowledge and the knowledge should be freely available to, it should be open to everyone. In fact, in 2007, when the National Knowledge Commission said that there should be an open, the sources should be open. It should not be closed to the people, to the academics, and nobody should be denied because they do not have money or any other permission, any other like permission nahi hai unke paas, so they cannot do it. So the Budapest Open Access Initiative, and then by open access in this literature, by what they claimed was that the material is freely available on public internet, permitting any user, please pay attention to this, permitting any user to read. You can read it freely. I can read Dr. Mahajan's article freely. Download. If I want to own the copy means I want to download it and say I don't have a good internet connection, so I'll just read it. I cannot read that 30 pages article or 25 pages article at one go, because that will take me 2-3 hours, and then internet connection is a problem in my area, or I have limited resources. I can download it. I can copy it. I want to share it with the like-minded people. I can copy it. I can distribute it, share with others, print it, search it, or link to the full text. Why I'm saying that pay attention is you can read it, download it, copy it, distribute it, print it, but you cannot revise it. And that is the basic difference we have from open access and OER. When we talk of OER, so the teaching learning material, revising it is a fundamental to those OERs. Whereas if you see, revising is not, because you are getting the access to a literature which will be the foundation of your research. Why do you want to revise it? It is already by an author or by a scientist or by somebody who has done that work. So revision and remixing are not here, which are in the OER. If you have just heard of OER, if you come to know of it, in OER, remixing and revising the teaching learning material is fundamental to OER, where it is not fundamental to open access. To open access, the fundamental is that you should be allowed to read, download, copy, distribute, discuss, search, and give links without any financial, legal, or technical barrier. There should not be payment involved. There should not be legality. कल को कोई आके मेरा कॉलर पकड़ रहा है कि आपने कैसे यूज कर लिया, or there should not be technical barrier that it will open through some software which is again a costly software. Yeah, it will only open in Mac and it will not open in Windows. Things like that. These constraints are not there. But the only thing is that The only thing which is morally also expected is that you acknowledge. As I said, that is, write the properly acknowledged and cite. You have to cite it. I cannot use Professor Sharma's material as okay, तो मैंने बनाया क्योंकि किसी को पता ही नहीं है, या किसी को जब पता चलेगा तब पता चलेगा, but I am using it. I am not acknowledging it, or I am not acknowledging Dr. Mahajan's work. No, that is, we are being academically dishonest. We are not practicing academic honesty. वही चीज है कि अगर if we ask our learners to be honest, we have to be honest ourselves. If I ask our learners to be on time, we have to be on time ourselves. If you want them to come out straightforward and honestly, you have to be honest with them. It is practice what you preach. So similarly, when you are using the material, just cite, just acknowledge. There's nothing else. No financial, no legal, nothing. No, just acknowledge, whether it's an OER, whether it's an open access, just acknowledge. Then subsequent to that, there was a Berlin declaration, which is basically on open access to knowledge in science and humanities. So that is what they said: in accordance with the spirit of Declaration of Budapest Open Access Initiative, the Eco Charter and the Betadata Statement of Open Access, they have drafted a Berlin, which says to promote internet as a functional instrument for the global scientific knowledge base and human reflection, and to specify measures which research policy makers, research institutions, funding agencies, libraries, archives, and museums need to consider. So that is, everything is open. You can read, you can copy, you can download and all that, because it is building on the Budapest one. And then internet is a functional instrument. Like all these materials should be available on the internet. So it should be free internet for everyone who wants to do that. And it should be considered and practiced and taken forward by all these research institutes. Then open access, as they further said, that open access is a comprehensive source of human knowledge. All the cultural legacy we have, all the cultural heritage we have, whatever is there, that should be available to everyone. That should be open access. And open access contribution should include original scientific research results. As we say that, like, it is not that what we are giving in open access is like substandard. अरे कुछ छोड़ दो तुम, जो अच्छा नहीं है ना उसको open access में उसको सबके लिए डाल दो. जैसे I come from the Northern belt, and we used to have this saying that दान की बछिया के दांत नहीं गिने जाते. To translate it, that whatever you got in charity, दान में जो आपको मिला है उसमें आप मीन मीक मत कीजिए. उसके दांत के, उसके बछिया के दांत मत गिनिए, मीन्स आप उसमें मीन मीक, don't expect quality, don't expect originality. That's what if you see that saying. But open access या open education resources में ऐसा नहीं है. What you are giving to the society, what you are opening to the society will be tagged with your name, with your institution. Say for example, I am from IGNOU and I am giving open access material which is substandard, sub quality. आज IGNOU का नाम इसलिए भी है because IGNOU का जो मटेरियल है वो क्वालिटी मटेरियल है. इट इज फॉर एवरीवन, इट इज गॉट ओपन एक्सेस. आप ज्ञान कोश पे जाइए, मटेरियल है, आप उसको पढ़िए, आप उसको डाउनलोड कीजिए, आप उसको यूज कर सकते हैं डिस्कशन करने के लिए. बट ऑफ कोर्स आप उसको रिवाइज नहीं कर सकते, आप उसको रीमिक्स नहीं, क्योंकि वो ओपन एक्सेस है. दैट्स नॉट एन OER. सो दैट मीन्स इट इंक्लूड्स ओरिजिनल साइंटिफिक रिसर्च रिजल्ट्स, रॉ डेटा, metadata, source material क्या था, their source material, digital representations of pictorial and graphical materials, and scholarly multimedia material. All that should be in open access. But sometimes even if you go to open access sites or repository, you will find that sometimes they say that the graphics and the images are not under the license. They may be copyrighted of the original person. So when you go for open access or OERs, you have to be very careful on that dimension. So I have been talking about copyright and openness. So what is copyright? We all know copyright, exclusive right to the creator and author, that to protect their original work. If I have made it, Nisha has made it, then it is my copyright. It is my prerogative. It is my liking or my willingness to share it with the world, or I'll say no, this is my creation, I'll keep it. Exclusive rights I've got, and it is right by the virtue of my creation. मैंने बनाया है तो वो by default मेरा ही copyright होगा, किसी और का copyright नहीं होगा until unless you are doing it for an institution. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जब इग्नू के लिए आप मटेरियल लिखते हैं और इग्नू को देते हैं, तो आप अपना जो मटेरियल का कॉपीराइट है वो आप उसको इग्नू को दे देते हैं. सो नाउ द मटेरियल विल बी कॉपीराइटेड विद इग्नू. सिमिलरली अगर आपने बुक पब्लिश करते हैं तो आप ये देखते हैं कि कई बार पब्लिशर का कॉपीराइट होता है, कॉपीराइटेड पब्लिशर. सो उस पे बुक के आगे जो होगा वो पब्लिशर का कॉपीराइट हो जाता है उस पे. लेकिन बहुत सारे टीचर्स क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं कि बुक को वो अपने लेवल पे भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करें, दे डोंट वांट इट टू बी बाउंड बाय द पब्लिशर्स विम्स एंड फैंसीज की नहीं ये तो फाइनेंशियल like financially हम लोगों को लॉस होगा एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. दे कीप द कॉपीराइट विद themselves. So आपको दोनों चीजें मिलेंगी. इट्स एन इंसेंटिव टू क्रिएटिविटी. सपोज मैं जैसे ये होते हैं डिजाइनर्स होते हैं, दे आर ऑल्सो क्रिएटर्स. सो मान लीजिए अगर वो डिजाइनर का जो ब्रेड एंड बटर है वो उसी से आता है, तो अगर वो अपना डिजाइन रखते हैं और उसका डिजाइन बहुत अच्छा है और वो बेचते हैं, तो वो उनको फाइनेंशियल कंपनसेशन मिलता है. दैट इज देयर ब्रेड एंड बटर, दैट इज देयर लाइवलीहुड. सो वो उस तरीके से होता है कि बाय वर्च्यू ऑफ यू डिजाइनिंग इट विल बी योर्स. सो सिमिलर वो तो और फील्ड्स का है. बट जब हम एजुकेशन में आते हैं, इट इज एज आई सेड, इट इज ऑटोमेटिकली ऑन ऑल राइट्स रिजर्व. आई मे रिजर्व that I will not share it with anybody, or I'll share it, say, some amount I'll decide, and then copyright holder has got exclusive right for a certain period of time. जैसे इंडिया में है, अगर आपका कोई लिटरेरी वर्क है, आपने कुछ किताब लिखी है या कोई आपका मटेरियल है, तो 60 years from the death of the person. So इसी तरीके से वीडियोस का है, म्यूजिक का है, 16 years from the publication अगर आपने कुछ लिखा है, ऑथर है तो उस तरीके से है. और कॉपीराइट जो है वो आप लाइसेंस, अगर आपने लाइसेंस नहीं भी कराया है तो भी आपका कॉपीराइट रहता है. बट अगर आप उसको लाइसेंस करा लेते हैं तो उससे क्या होता है, कभी कोई इन्फ्रिंजमेंट ऑफ कॉपीराइट है तो यू कैन ऑलवेज गो टू फॉर लीगल रेमेडीज. बट अगर आपके पास इन्फ्रिंजमेंट, अगर आपने उसको रजिस्टर नहीं कराया है तो आपको प्रूव करना पड़ता है. एंड देन द police and the administrative authorities also, they take time in registering the case. So all these are, let me not go into those details, that is beyond this. So openness के लिए जो एक license आता है वो है Creative Commons. creativecommons.org, आप इस पे जाइए, मैं अभी नहीं जा रही हूँ, maybe a little later. This was devised, as I said, by Larry Lessing. It is the most user-friendly license for digital material. It is not an alternative to copyright. कि इस तरफ copyright रख दिया और इस तरफ हमने वो रख दिया Creative Commons. No, Creative Commons are built on the copyright. They are not alternative to copyright. What they say is that copyright will be mine. See, मैंने कुछ बनाया है, मैंने कुछ लिखा है, तो मैं उसको क्या करूंगी, उसका copyright तो मैंने बोला by default मेरे पास रहेगा. But I want to share it with the world. I don't want that $10 barrier to be there. So what I do is I'll say that I'll release it under the CC license, Creative Commons license, which are 6 licenses. I'll just and that way my material will reach to a larger perspective. So Creative Commons में हम 4 conditions देखते हैं. One is attribution, the other is non-commercial, one is non-derivative, and the fourth one is sharing. एक one by one. Attribution मतलब आपको सिर्फ नाम देना, CC बाय बोलते हैं उसको. आपको सिर्फ, जैसे कहते हैं ना, मेरा नाम ही काफी है, तो जस्ट मेरा नाम दे दीजिए, डॉक्टर निशा सिंह, टाइटल OER, एंड देन जिस लिंक से आपने लिया है उतना ही काफी है. उसके बाद आप क्या करो, आई एम नॉट बॉदर्ड. आप उसका पैसे कमाइए, किताब लिखिए, आप उसके पन्ने बना, पैम्फलेट बना के बांटिए, यू डू व्हाटएवर यू वांट. आई जस्ट वांट निशा सिंह का नाम, so that people know that this is created by Nisha. The next is that, okay, fine, you do it, you revise it, you redistribute it, but please पैसे मत कमाइए. आपको फ्री मिला है, मैंने फ्री नॉलेज के लिए किया है, मैं नहीं चाहती कि आगे लोग पैसे कमाएं. नॉन कमर्शियल. मैंने जो बनाया है, मैंने अगर रेसिपी में अंडे डाले हैं तो आपको भी अंडे के साथ ही अगर बनाना है तो बनाइए, नहीं बनाना तो मत बनाइए. अंडे आप रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकते. 2 कप मैदा तो मतलब 2 कप मैदा. नॉन डेरिवेटिव. You cannot make derivatives out of it. You can copy, distribute it, display it, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं, बट उसमें कुछ चेंज नहीं कर सकते. एंड द फोर्थ वन इज शेयर लाइक. जो आपको जैसा मिला है उस पे अगर आपने कोई एडिशन किया है, उसमें सपोज आपने कुछ उसमें कलर्स डाले हैं या कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स डाले हैं, तो उस मटेरियल को भी आप वैसे ही कम्युनिटी को, वैसे ही आप पब्लिक में, वैसे ही आप इंटरनेट पे फ्रीली देंगे जैसा आपको मिला है. इनफैक्ट शेयर अलाइक इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर ऑफ द combinations with the attribution. We'll come to that. So as I said, CC BY, it will allow you to distribute, remix, और अगर मैं यहाँ देखूँ, मैं इसको इधर ले जाती हूँ, CC BY, ये सिंबल है, और सिंबल भी होगा अगर आप CC BY लिखेंगे ना, क्रिएटिव कॉमन्स CC BY इंटरनेशनल 4.0 आजकल चल रहा है, 4.0 लाइसेंस, तो भी वो उतना ही इफेक्टिव होगा. चाहे सिंबल यूज कीजिए, चाहे लिखिए, चाहे दोनों लाइए. और सिंबल का अगर हम इंपॉर्टेंस देखें तो सिंबल का इंपॉर्टेंस वो होता है कि हमें एक लुक से पता चल जाता है कि क्या है, हमें पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. दूसरी बात, अगर आपको याद कीजिए, हम जब हमारा इलेक्टोरल सिस्टम जो है उसमें क्या होता है, जैसे सपोज पार्टी है, कांग्रेस पार्टी है, बीजेपी पार्टी है, पार्टी के साथ साथ एक सिंबल भी होता है. एक सिंबल होता है जिसके लिए बहुत कई बार लड़ाइयां भी होती हैं. सिंबल इसलिए होता है कि शुरुआत इस वजह से हुई थी क्योंकि जब हमारा देश आजाद हुआ था और हम लोग इलेक्शंस के लिए गए थे, उस समय जनता बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ी लिखी, मतलब कुछ जनता जो थी, जनता में बहुत सारा मेजॉरिटी वाज नॉट एजुकेटेड. So what happens is, for them, looking at the symbol like साइकिल पे मोहर लगाना, कमल पे मोहर लगाना, हाथ पे मोहर लगाना, तो people were able to equate to that कि हम तो सिंबल पे मोहर लगाएंगे क्योंकि वो उससे एसोसिएटेड है, हमें आगे लिखा पढ़ा होना तो जरूरी नहीं था. तो उसी तरीके से यहाँ पर भी you can use either symbol, either of the two. Symbol tells you very easily as to, you don't have to read it, it tells you very easily which license we are using. Then CC BY SA. I said that SA is one of the most, this combination is one of the most preferred among the institutions and the individuals, which says that you use it, you do anything with it, revise and remix it, but you have to share with the same community under the same terms and conditions, in the same license, which says that जो use कर रहा है, he is obliged to share it with the community. He cannot just say that okay fine, हमें नहीं होगा तो हम नहीं करेंगे, हम तो इससे पैसे बनाएंगे और हम इसको कंट्रोल कर लेंगे, like we'll become like we'll own it. No, it has to be by the it has to be under the same license. And if you remember Wikipedia, you must have used Wikipedia. आप सभी ने Wikipedia, भले ही आप उससे एग्री करें, भले ही आप उसको मान्यता उतनी दें या ना दें, हम उस पे तो वेरी करते हैं कि रेंज में कोई बहुत देता है, कोई कम देता है, बट विकिपीडिया हम सब जानते हैं. विकिपीडिया का लाइसेंस यही है, आप नीचे जाएंगे, लिखा होगा क्रिएटिव कॉमन्स बाय शेयर अलाइक 4.0 लाइसेंस और 3.0, 3.0 या 4.0 कोई है, तो CC BY ऐसे है वहां पर. इसी तरीके से अगर आप गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का इनिशिएटिव देखते हैं, NROER, नेशनल रिपोजिटरी फॉर ओपन एजुकेशन रिसोर्सेज, NROER, उसमें भी यही लाइसेंस है. मतलब वो स्कूल लेवल का है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का इनिशिएटिव है, मेंटेन्ड बाय द NCERT, उसमें भी आपको यही मिलेगा. अगर आपने NPTEL का नाम सुना हो, नेशनल प्रोग्राम फॉर टेक्नोलॉजी इनहेंस्ड लर्निंग, ये इंजीनियरिंग कोर्सेज होते हैं, इसमें ह्यूमैनिटीज के भी होते हैं, साइंसेस के भी होते हैं, बट बेसिकली 7 जो पुराने IITs हैं और इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एडवांस स्टडीज बैंगलोर जो है, इनका कंबाइंड इनिशिएटिव था, एंड वन ऑफ द मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल प्रोजेक्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया. सच में बहुत सक्सेसफुल है and much appreciated and a very dynamic project. It is like you see lot of changes happening, lot of people coming in and then getting benefited and so on and so forth. उनका भी यही लाइसेंस, उनका ये लाइसेंस नहीं है, उसमें NC भी है, मैं उस पे फिर से आऊंगी. So basically ये है. Then Creative Commons license, और में अगर हम डालें तो Creative Commons by ND, that is non-derivative. You cannot make any changes into it. And NC, जैसे मैंने पहले बोला था, you can make changes, but then you should not earn money out of it. It has non-commercial. Then this is the license of NPTEL. NC आपने देखा, एक NC डाल दिया हमने आगे, CC BY NC by SA, मतलब आपको शेयर अलाइक तो करना ही है, एट द सेम टाइम आप उससे पैसे नहीं कमा सकते. You cannot make commercial money out of it. See for example, NPTEL के पास सैकड़ों वीडियोस हैं इंजीनियरिंग से लेके जो आईआईटी के सीनियर प्रोफेसर्स ने किया है। अगर मान लीजिए हम उसमें कमर्शियल एक्टिविटी कर लें तो देयर आर वेरी मेनी इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस जो कमर्शियली आप उसको उन वीडियोस के द्वारा पैसे कमाने लग जाएंगे। तो इसलिए उन्होंने कह दिया कि उनके साइट्स का जो भी मटेरियल है वो नॉन कमर्शियल है, पैसे नहीं कमाएंगे बट पढ़ाई लिखाई के लिए आप यूज कर सकते हैं। यहाँ पर मैं एक चीज और आपको बताना चाहूंगी, आपसे शेयर करना चाहूंगी, वो ये है कि जब हम क्लास में यूज करते हैं, सपोज आप एनपीटीईएल में जाते हैं और आपको कोई बहुत अच्छा लेक्चर मिलता है अपने टॉपिक से लेके और आप उसको अपने क्लासरूम में उसको बच्चों को दिखाते हैं, अपने स्टूडेंट्स को दिखाते हैं और आप उसको डिस्कस करते हैं, ठीक है। या मान लीजिए किसी कॉपीराइटेड साइटेड का भी कोई मटेरियल है, आपने अपने क्लास में इंटरनेट खोला, वो मटेरियल दिखाया और उसके ऊपर डिस्कशन किया, तो क्या वो हम उसको इलीगल है? नहीं। अगर आप इस तरीके से अपने क्लासरूम के अंदर कोई चीज दिखा रहे हैं तो वो इलीगल नहीं है, वो फेयर यूज में आ जाता है। उसके लिए आपको किसी की कॉपीराइट परमिशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं होती है। आप क्लासरूम में दिखा रहे हैं, विद इन दोस फोर वॉल्स दिखा रहे हैं और आप उस पर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, कहीं आपने उसको डाउनलोड नहीं किया, कहीं आप उसको वो नहीं किया, तो आप उसको यूज कर, आप उसको फेयर यूज में आते हैं। दिस इज कॉल्ड एज फेयर यूज पॉलिसी, जो हर जगह एप्लीकेबल होती है। लेकिन हाँ, अगर आप उसको इंटरनेट पे डालते हैं, अपने नाम से डालते हैं, तो दैट इज नॉट अलाउड, नॉट परमिसिबल। Then the most strictest of the license is this attribution non-commercial non-derivative, which says that जो भी मटेरियल आप यूज कर रहे हैं उसका डेरिवेटिव नहीं बना सकते, कोई चेंज नहीं करेंगे और आप पैसे नहीं कमाएंगे। तो बहुत रिस्ट्रिक्टिव है। लेकिन कई बार लोग ये सोचते हैं कि इससे हम क्या करते हैं, सिर्फ नॉलेज को तो एक्सटेंड कर रहे हैं, और कई बार ओपन एक्सेस में आप देखेंगे कि ये लाइसेंस जो है वो अक्सर मिल जाता है। मतलब दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द लाइसेंसेस जो आपको ओपन एक्सेस में मिलता है, हम अभी आते हैं उस पे। देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज क्रिएटिव कॉमन्स पब्लिक डोमेन। अगर आपको याद हो तो हमारे यहाँ एक गुप्त दान होता था, जिसे कहते हैं ना, दान अगर असली दान है तो बाएं हाथ को भी पता ना चले कि दाएं हाथ ने क्या दान किया था। तो इट इज लाइक पब्लिक डोमेन में आपने कुछ बनाया और आपने उसको रिलीज कर दिया पब्लिक डोमेन में। कोई आपका नाम दे ना दे, आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आपको सिर्फ ये फर्क पड़ता है कि लोग उसको यूज करें, right? It allows authors and the copyright holders to waive all rights. So आपको attribute करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है। And yes, there are people who do it, and there are sites where you get a lot of material like this. I'll share it a little later with you. Then if you look at the summary of the licenses, it is least restrictive is the public domain. Of course, पता ही नहीं है गुप्त दान है, किसने किया, नाम है भी तो आप दे ना दे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आप कहीं लीगली रॉन्ग नहीं है। बाय में आपको नाम देना है, you're bound legally. बाय ऐसे ऑफ कोर्स नाम देना है और आपको वो करना है कि ये शेयर अलाइक करना है। एनसी नॉन कमर्शियल, नॉन कमर्शियल और ऐसे मतलब आपको उसी लाइसेंस में देना है। एनडी इज नॉन डेरिवेटिव एंड एनसी एनडी इज ऑफ कोर्स ना कमर्शियल कर सकते हैं, नॉन डेरिवेटिव, एंड ऑफ कोर्स ऑल राइट कॉपीराइट इज वेयर एवरी सिंगल थिंग हैज टू बी टेकन प्रॉपर परमिशन। दो तरीके की ओपन एक्सेस, अब हम ये सारे लाइसेंस आपको पता चल गए, ये लाइसेंसेस हम ओपन एक्सेस में भी देखते हैं, ओपन एजुकेशन रिसोर्सेज में भी देखते हैं, ठीक है। अब हम बात करते हैं ओपन एक्सेस की। ओपन एक्सेस में दो तरीके की ओपन एक्सेस होती है, वन इज कॉल्ड द गोल्डन ओपन एक्सेस एंड द अदर इज कॉल्ड एज ग्रीन ओपन एक्सेस। गोल्डन ओपन एक्सेस इज व्हेन यू आर पब्लिशिंग योर आर्टिकल in an open access journal. That is, it makes the final version of the article freely and permanently accessible to everyone immediately after publication. See, I'll be showing you, so there's a journal called Asian Journal of Distance Education. In fact, उसके एडिटर प्रोफेसर शर्मा थे जो कल आपके पास ही थे, आपके साथ थे। सो वो ही इज वन ऑफ द एडिटर्स ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर जर्नल। वो जर्नल जो है वो ओपन एक्सेस जर्नल। सो द मोमेंट वो जर्नल पब्लिश होता है, उसमें वो आर्टिकल जो भी है वो आपके पास कल से हो जाता है। मतलब अगर रात में पब्लिश हुआ है तो सुबह आई कैन बी बेनिफिटेड फ्रॉम इट, एंड दैट इज द फाइनल वर्जन। सो गोल्डन ओपन एक्सेस सेज दैट द फाइनल वर्जन ऑफ द आर्टिकल इज बेसिकली आपको वो अवेलेबल रहेगा, ठीक है। कॉपीराइट ऑफ द आर्टिकल इज मोस्टली विद द ऑथर्स, और दैट इज व्हाई वो आप कभी भी यूज कर सकते हैं। मतलब कॉपीराइट तो ऑथर के पास ही रहेगा, बट क्योंकि वो ओपन एक्सेस में है इसलिए एनीबडी कैन यूज इट विदाउट एनी asking for any permission. That is, permission barrier is removed. So golden open access आप दो तरीके की जर्नल्स में देखते हैं. One is called the open access journal, जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया था, Asian Journal of Distance Education. The other is called as hybrid journals. Hybrid journals वो journals हैं, जैसे suppose Sage है, Sage आपको journal दे रहा है, या Elsevier है, या फिर स्प्रिंजर है. ये जो जर्नल्स करते हैं, स्पेशली एल्सेवियर का जो है वो उनके फंड भी करता है. इट्स वन ऑफ द स्पॉन्सर्स आल्सो. आई जस्ट कम टू दैट अ लिटिल लेटर. सो क्या करते हैं ये लोग कि जर्नल के 2 वर्जन से जैसा हो जाए, 2 वर्जन तो नहीं, जब जर्नल के लिए आप देते हैं, आप पब्लिकेशन के लिए देते हैं, तो दे आस्क यू कि व्हाट डू यू वांट. अगर आप उसको ओपन एक्सेस करना चाहते हैं, राइट, तो आपको एज अ, बिकॉज आई बिलीव इन ओपन एक्सेस, सो मैं क्या, तो वो आप, क्योंकि और देखिए, देयर इज नो फ्री लंच इन दिस वर्ल्ड. सो जो ये पब्लिशर है वो पैसा तो खर्च करते हैं ना पब्लिकेशन के लिए, तो फ्रॉम वेयर विल दे मीट देयर कॉस्ट? दे विल मीट देयर कॉस्ट बाय, उससे जो रीडर से तो ले नहीं सकते, बिकॉज हम ओपननेस पे बिलीव करते हैं, तो वो किससे लेंगे? वो आपसे लेंगे, जो ऑथर से लेंगे. एंड यू नो, आई एम एन ऑथर, आई हैव गॉट ए प्रोजेक्ट फंड, और आई मे अप्लाई टू, देयर आर सर्टेन फंडिंग एजेंसीज व्हिच गिव यू मनी फॉर पब्लिशिंग अंडर द ओपन एक्सेस, राइट. सो मैं उनसे ले लूंगी, जैसे हम प्रोजेक्ट नहीं करते हैं, प्रोजेक्ट करने के लिए भी टेक इट फ्रॉम ए फंडिंग एजेंसी एंड वी डू द प्रोजेक्ट. इवन some of the colleges की जो labs होती हैं, उनके पास उतने resources नहीं होते, तो what people do is they get a project from DST and all, and then उसका जो project money होता है, उससे PhD के students भी practicals वगैरह करते हैं. That is how you take the knowledge. That is how you meet the ends. So similarly, so I paid as an author, I pay the fee, and that is how my article becomes openly accessible to the reader the very next day. सो उनकी कॉस्ट हो गई, मतलब इट्स लाइक उनको कॉस्ट मिल गई, एज एन ऑथर मैंने दिया, रीडर को तो फ्री मिल गया. द अदर ऑप्शन इज दैट दे हैव दिस एज कि वो एक टाइम पीरियड बाउंड कर देते हैं. से मेरा आर्टिकल है, मैंने पैसे नहीं दिए, बट आई सेड कि ओके फाइन, I'll agree to your conditions. वो क्या करेंगे, there is a lock period. Say for 1 year they'll lock it. Say suppose I want to, I'm doing research on corona, and it's a very happening area, very important area. So if there is a lock period of 1 year, तो उसमें क्या होगा, बहुत कुछ बदल चुका होगा इस 1 साल में. ये कंप्यूटर साइंसेस की फील्ड है, बहुत कुछ बदल चुका होगा 1 साल में. सो क्या होगा, अगर किसी को रियली, एंड आई एम ए वेल नोन फील्ड इन माय बायोलॉजी में, मैं एक बहुत अच्छा नाम हूँ, लाइक आई एम एन एक्सपर्ट, और मैं उसमें कर रही हूँ, तो जिनको रियली, जो लोग क्रूशियल रिसर्च करते हैं, who have got the funds, वो पैसा दे के भी मेरे आर्टिकल को जानना चाहेंगे. So in that lock period, there will be people who will be subscribing because my article is very relevant to the field they are working in. So वो तो उस एक पीरियड के लॉक पीरियड में ये एजेंसी पब्लिशर्स ये मानते हैं कि उनका पैसा पूरा हो जाएगा, और उस 1 साल के बाद जो है वो आपको मतलब वो आर्टिकल ओपन एक्सेस में आ जाएगा. So that is how they meet their cost. So this is up to the author and how you are managing. So these journals are called open hybrid journals. In fact, some of the funding agencies कहती हैं कि ये कहते हैं open access, but exactly they don't believe in open access. They only called about open access because they want to अपना नाम, they want to come up with their brand name and everything. And exactly there are certain industries, certain funding agencies, वो अगर आप hybrid के लिए उनसे मांगेंगे funds तो वो नहीं देते हैं. So golden access publishing can be also be seen in this Public Library of Science and Biomed Center, जहाँ पर आपको open access मिलता है. The other is the green open access. Here what happens is, suppose as we said that you have a right to you are an author, लेकिन जब पब्लिशिंग के लिए आप देते हैं तो आपका जर्नल के साथ एक टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस होता है. सो व्हाट यू डू इज, आप अपने पब्लिश्ड आर्टिकल को किसी और रिपोजिटरी में विच इज फ्रीली अवेलेबल फॉर द पब्लिक, वहां पर आप उसको पब्लिश कर, वहां पर आप उसको अवेलेबल करवा देते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई राइट एन आर्टिकल विच इज उसको मैं IGNOU की साइट पे भी कर देती हूँ, तो आपको IGNOU की रिपोजिटरी में भी वो मिल जाएगा. कई बार ऐसा होता है पब्लिशर से, सपोज मैं स्प्रिंजर के साथ कर रही हूँ, तो दे विल नॉट अलाउ मी, दे विल नॉट अलाउ मी कि आप अपना आर्टिकल हमें पब्लिश करने के लिए भी दे रही हैं और आप अब किसी फ्री साइट में भी दे देंगे, तो हमारे यहाँ कौन खरीदेगा? तो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, तब उसमें क्या होता है, इफ आई एम रियली बिलीवर इन ओपननेस, आई टॉक टू दीज पब्लिशर्स एंड पब्लिश द प्री पब्लिश्ड कॉपी, नॉट द पब्लिश्ड कॉपी। पब्लिश कहते बहुत सारे फेयरो होते हैं ना, जब आप पब्लिशिंग के लिए जाते हैं तो एक प्रूफ रीडिंग, दो प्रूफ रीडिंग, तो जो पब्लिकेशन वाला, जो पब्लिश्ड वाला होता है, उससे पहले की जो प्री प्रिंटेड वर्क होता है, which contains basically most of the ideas which you are proposing in the published version, that you make it available to the public. So वो आप अपने एज एन इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे करते हैं, सेल्फ आर्काइविंग हम इसको बोलते हैं। दे आर दे एंड देन अगर आप कर रहे हैं और किसी पब्लिशर के पास है जिसका कॉपीराइट का इशू है, वहां पर आपको पब्लिशर की परमिशन लेनी पड़ती है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई गिव यू एन एग्जाम्पल, जैसे स्वयं पे आप मटेरियल बनाते हैं, ये स्वयं पे जो मटेरियल है दैट इज बेसिकली विद द स्वयं, एंड एज ऑफ नाउ स्वयं ने उसको अभी ओपननेस में नहीं किया है, ओपन एजुकेशन रिसोर्सेज नहीं बोला है, उन्होंने बोला है कि द कॉपीराइट इज विद स्वयं, बट दे से दैट इफ यू वांट टू यूज इट, बिकॉज आई एम एन ऑथर, आई एम द कोर्स कोऑर्डिनेटर, आई एम एन ऑथर, मैंने वहां पर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट किया है, तो ऑथर वहां से ले सकता है, author can take the permission. So similarly, if I am an author, I want to release it free, I'll take the permission of the publisher कि हम इसका प्री पब्लिकेशन कॉपीज जो है वो मैं और आर्काइवल से और रिपोजिटरी में डालना चाहती हूँ, प्लीज अलाउ मी, एंड दैट कैन बी डन इन द नॉर्मल टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस जो होती हैं उसकी। सो देन एज आई सेड, हाइब्रिड जर्नल्स में भी आपको मिलता है जहां पर ओपन एक्सेस आपको इंडिविजुअल आर्टिकल्स की मिल जाती है, ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड द कंडीशंस। So one of the main places which we say is Directory of Open Access Journals, DOAJ. यहाँ पर आपको बहुत सारे, as you can see that there are 12,499 journals, these many articles, these many countries are the members, and these many articles are there. So what we say, basically it is a community communicated online directory. मतलब मेरे आपके जैसे वॉलंटियर्स जो हैं, जो बिलीव करते हैं, उन्हीं के द्वारा क्यूरेटेड, उन्हीं के द्वारा मेंटेन है। बट कहते हैं ना कि कोई भी चीज फ्री नहीं चलती, हमें लगता है विकिपीडिया जो है वो फ्री चलता है, नहीं, उसके पीछे भी लोग हैं, बट वॉलंटियर्स हैं, प्लस उनके पीछे जो सॉफ्टवेयर या जो सॉफ्टवेयर रिलेटेड हर लोग जो भी हैं, जो बेसिकली डेडिकेटेड टेक्निकल टीम है, उनको पैसा तो चाहिए ना, वो कहाँ से आता है? वो वहां से आता है, यू नीड स्पॉन्सर्स। So people like you have these like Bill Gates Foundation है, इसी तरीके से और भी हैं जो इस तरीके की ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को फंड देते हैं so that openness remains। और बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो डोनेशंस देते हैं जिससे the knowledge is free. So 22%, as they said, this is the latest figures, they are the sponsors, and the 78% are the members and publisher members. Some publishers are members where they give some kind of amount in the contribution. All services on DOAJ are free. All data there is free, and it is basically, it also has an education and outreach program. It is there because they want that there should be visibility of knowledge, visibility of latest knowledge, and that should be accessible. Often जब हम ओपन एजुकेशन की बात करते हैं तो हम अक्सर एकलव्य की बात करते हैं, एकलव्य जिसने सिर्फ देख के, दूर से देख के, द्रोणाचार्य द्वारा सिखाया गया जो स्किल था वो उसने सीखा, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी से इन डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन, डिस्टेंस एंड ओपन एजुकेशन, कि जो नॉलेज है वो दूर से भी दी जा सकती है, डिस्टेंस पे भी दी जा सकती है, जैसा कि बाय वर्च्यू ऑफ कोविड की वजह से आज हम देखते हैं कि हर कोई दूर से ही शिक्षा दे और ले रहा है। इससे पहले भी अगर हम देखें तो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन इंडिया में और जगह पहले भी थी, इंडिया में भी काफी टाइम आ रही थी। इनफैक्ट मैं ऑफन बताती हूँ कि केपीएमजी और गूगल ने एक रिसर्च किया था, एक सर्वे किया था 2016 में। उन्होंने कहा था कि ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन इंडिया में किस अगले 5 साल में उसकी क्या स्थिति होगी और उनको कितना इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, एंड दैट इज व्हाई यू कैन सी दैट सुंदर पिचाई हैज जस्ट नाउ अनाउंस्ड big package for India, for online education in India. Basically, online education का नाम लेके नहीं किया, but they have invested in these online services and online education only. So वो ये बोलते थे कि 2021 तक जो 2017 में अगर हम देखें तो जो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का जो टर्नओवर था वो अराउंड $250 मिलियन था, और उन्होंने कहा कि 2021 में वो क्लोज टू 2000 मिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स हो जाएगा. इमेजिन द जंप दे वर एंटिसिपेटिंग, दे हैड प्रेडिक्टेड इट. एंड रिमेंबर 2016 में किसी को कोविड की कोई भनक भी नहीं थी. इबोला था, ये था, वो था, बट कोविड-19 और हम इस तरीके से हम ही पिंजरे में बंद जाएंगे ये किसी को नहीं पता था. Right. So that time also, and then स्वयं 2016 को देखिए, स्वयं प्रभा ये सब आ रहे थे. और 2012 में तो मूक्स आ रहा था, उससे पहले से ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन था. इनफैक्ट ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन की अगर बात करें तो 2010 में मैंने 2000 हाँ नहीं शायद 12 में ही मैंने किया था. मूक नहीं किया था, मूक तो किया था लेकिन एक कोर्स किया पूरी तरीके से ऑनलाइन था. ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी मलेशिया से किया था, मास्टर्स किया था इंस्ट्रक्शनल डिजाइन एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में. So it was totally online. मेरी classes भी online थी, resources भी online थे, exam भी online था. So online was there, but इस वजह से ज्यादा हो गया. So what they said that visibility ज्यादा बढ़े, accessibility बढ़े, reputation हो, like you are valid हो वो चीजें, and then usage and impact of quality peer review. देखिए क्या होता है कि कई बार हम लोग कहते हैं ना, जैसे हम लोग अक्सर, जैसे मैंने आपकी तारीफ की, आपने मेरी तारीफ की, तो हम वी आर इन म्यूचुअली एडमिरेशन सोसाइटी में हैं. मैं आपकी तारीफ करूं, आप मेरी तारीफ करें, हम दोनों एक दूसरे की तारीफ करते रहें. लेकिन जब आप एक्चुअली फील्ड में आते हैं तो आप ये देखते हैं कि जब आप रिव्यू करते हैं कोई भी मटेरियल, सो यू आर ऑब्जेक्टिव. एंड अगर ये ब्लाइंड रिव्यू हो तो यू आर ऑल द मोर ऑब्जेक्टिव. से अगर मेरा आर्टिकल आपके पास गया है, सेम फील्ड में है, और आपको पता नहीं है कि निशा का आर्टिकल है, या इवन आपको पता है निशा का आर्टिकल है एंड इट इज नॉट ए गुड आर्टिकल, तो आप क्या करेंगे, आप मेरे बहुत अच्छे दोस्त हैं, तो आप शायद शब्दों के साथ हेरफेर करेंगे, उतने ज्यादा क्रिटिकल शब्द नहीं यूज करेंगे, बट यू विल से ओके इट्स ठीक है. आपको जैसे कहते हैं ना, आपको भावों से समझ जाना चाहिए कि क्या कहना चाह रहा है. अगर मैं पूछूं डॉक्टर महाजन से कि मेरा आज का लेक्चर कैसा था, मेरे हाँ अच्छा था, तो मैं समझ जाऊंगी कि it is okay, it was not so good. So आपको भावों से, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि आपके वर्बल एक्सप्रेशन, वर्बल से के साथ साथ नॉन वर्बल भी कहता है. तो सिमिलरली पीयर रिव्यू जब होता है, और स्पेशली इफ इट्स इन ब्लाइंड रिव्यू, तब उसमें आपको देखेंगे कि लोग का दे आर वेरी वेरी वैलिड, दे आर वेरी 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 कॉन्शियस. दे डोंट से कि मतलब अच्छा है, अच्छा है, अच्छा है, क्योंकि उस पीयर रिव्यू का नाम आपके साथ भी जुड़ा होता है. अगर आप एक खराब आर्टिकल को कहेंगे अच्छा है, तो कल को आपको लोग बोलेंगे अरे ये आपने कैसे पास कर दिया था. तो इस तरीके से पीयर रिव्यू, दैट इज व्हाई यू सी दैट यूजीसी की जो लिस्ट है केयर की, उसमें वो पीयर रिव्यू जर्नल्स को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं. देन ओपन एक्सेस स्कॉलरली रिसर्च आर्टिकल्स, then it works with editors, publishers, journal owners, so that knowledge is open, and it is committed to 100% independent in maintaining all its services as metadata as free and to use and reuse. मतलब कि कभी भी ये अपने घर का ताला आपके लिए बंद नहीं करेंगे. ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि आपके लिए उनके ताले हमेशा खुले रहेंगे रिसर्च के लिए. Then there's another site called OpenDOER, that is Open डायरेक्टरी ऑफ ओपन एक्सेस रिपोजिटरीज. सो हम इसको थोड़ा सा लाइव भी देखेंगे. और आप यहाँ देखिए, सॉरी आपको पता नहीं दिख रहा होगा, यहाँ नीचे देंगे तो NC/ND है, मतलब यहाँ का जो मटेरियल है वो आप कमर्शियली भी यूज नहीं कर सकते और आप उसका डेरिवेटिव्स भी नहीं ले सकते हैं. फिर रिसर्च में एक अगर आपने नाम सुना होगा, ऑर्किड. दिस इज अ वेरी पॉपुलर, दिस इज एन आइडेंटिटी यू हैव. A researcher, a publisher, author has an identity across. So अगर आप बोलेंगे कि ये निशा मेरी ये ऑर्किड है, ऑर्किड आईडी है, तो उससे आपका जो भी आपका काम हुआ होगा वो उससे लिंक हो जाएगा. So this is a very international, उस पे आप देखेंगे, this is an NGO which is being run, which gives you an ORCID ID. And this is Scopus वगैरह में भी आप देखेंगे, या और पब्लिश आर्टिकल्स में भी देखेंगे, वो अक्सर आपसे एक ORCID ID देता है. बेसिकली एन NGO, नो मनी इन्वॉल्व, फ्री है आपके लिए. Parallel to that, मतलब something like that, parallel to नहीं बोलूंगी, something like that is being initiated by the Indian government also, which is called as IRNIS, which is maintained by INFLIBNET. This is Indian Research Information Network System. बेसिकली यहाँ पर आप रजिस्टर होइए, आपको भी एक आईडी मिल जाता है इसमें, और you are able to connect with so many people. I'll just I'll just take you to this site because इसलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ इस साइट के बारे में, क्योंकि आप faculty members हैं, you are all higher education people, so please go and use this. This is about, this is web-based research information management system maintained by implement. इतनी faculty ने यहाँ register कर दिया है, इतना publications है, इतने citations हैं. What is the benefit? As a research scholar, you will know people, the experts in your area. Sometimes हमें होता है ना कि नाम बताइए, हम अपने tool की validation किसके पास भेजें, किसको हम बुलाएं, किसको हम कनेक्ट करें. So research scholar के लिए, faculty के लिए also, so if you want to collaborate, such curriculum development के लिए है, आपको लोग जानेंगे if you have your identity or illness. And research administrator also, say there is a project और आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी में आपको नाम देने हैं इस पर्टिकुलर एरिया में. So if you are in illness, then आप हो सकते हैं. And in fact it is also, it helps in IQSC assurances, SC EC होना चाहिए यहाँ पर, and NIRF coordinator to generate report from various research assessments. So this is one thing, a Government of India initiative which is picking up. मैं ये नहीं बोल रही कि full fledged हो गया है, but it is picking up. It is something which they envisage that it will be sort of, देखिए, it has integrated with academic identities such as ORCID ID, Scopus ID, Research ID. It all that will be your Google Scholar ID. All that will be integrated in IRNIS. So आप इसको use कर सकते हैं, आप देख सकते हैं इसके बारे में. Then IRNIS के बाद मैं आती हूँ Open Knowledge Maps. This is one area, one site which helps you to search OERs, open access contents, open contents basically, not OERs but open content. हम इसमें अभी करते हैं इसमें. When you type a keyword, say I want to do something on e-learning, so ये आपको ना e-learning जहां जहां उसको e-learning मिलेगा open access को, वो चीजें आपके कर देगा. मान लीजिए डिजिटल स्टोरी टेलिंग से उसको इतना मिला है तो गोले के साइज बड़ा हो जाएगा, यहाँ पर उसको छोटा मिला है तो छोटा हो जाएगा. इस तरीके से आपको मिल जाएगा. So बेसिक, और अगर वो तो आपका इन्फोग्राफिक्स हुआ, अगर इफ यू वांट इट इन द टेक्स्ट फॉर्म, देन आप उसको टेक्स्ट फॉर्म में भी ले सकते हैं. जैसे प्राइमरी एरिया मैंने जब ई लर्निंग पे किया था, तो जब मैंने बनाने के लिए पीपीटी बनाने के लिए किया था, इसमें क्या करते हैं, वो जो विजुअलाइजेशन प्रेजेंट्स यू टॉपिकल ओवरव्यू ऑफ योर सर्च टर्म. इट इज बेस्ड ऑन 100 मोस्ट रेलेवेंट, जो भी इंटरनेट पे ओपन एक्सेस में 100 मोर रेलेवेंट आइटम्स होंगे उसको सिलेक्ट करेगा, उसमें टेक्स्ट में सिमिलैरिटी देखेगा. एंड दैट इज डन बाय सिस्टम ओनली, एल्गोरिदम की वजह से ही होता है. इट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज बिल्ट इनटू द सिस्टम, सॉफ्टवेयर काम करते हैं, और उसके बेसिस पे वो विजुअलाइज करेगा कि आपको क्या लिटरेचर आपको सर्वे अवेलेबल है. we'll just I'll just show you before I go to something else. I'll just take this, it will take me to the site. I hope the screen is visible. Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Yeah. So this is Open Knowledge Maps. COVID के time में उन्होंने कुछ और भी किया था. What you do is, where do you want it? You want it medical life sciences or all disciplines? Refine your search. Say I wanted digital education. इन्होंने बोला ना try out करने के लिए. Okay, let me try out. Cookies होती हैं, उसको आपको accept करना होता है. Digital education. It is coming. Yes. So देखिए डिजिटल एजुकेशन है, और एक एक रिसर्च, एक एक लिंक पे हम जा सकते हैं. रिसर्च में हमें यही होता है ना, पहले हमें कोई कोलेट, जैसे हम पहले लाइब्रेरी में जाते थे, कार्ड्स बनाते थे, फिर उन कार्ड से हम बुक्स ढूंढते थे, लाके सब चीजें अपने पास रख लेते. जर्नल्स पहले मुझे तो अच्छी तरह याद है, जब हमने किया था तो हम एनसीईआरटी की उसमें जाते थे और सारे जर्नल्स का पहले नोट कर लेते थे, फिर वो जर्नल्स उठा के अपने पास लाते थे, फिर उनको पढ़ना शुरू करते थे. सो सिमिलरली सम काइंड ऑफ अ स्क्रीनिंग और लेबलिंग आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं. और फिर यहाँ पर कंसेप्चुअलाइजिंग डिजिटल लिटरेसी एंड डिजिटल एथिक्स फॉर सस्टेनेबिलिटी एजुकेशन, मैं यहाँ पर जा सकती हूँ. आई विल जस्ट टेक यू टू दिस. इट इज ओपनिंग. So there you get the article. Scopus citation किसका है, कितना है, and then आप इसको use कर सकते हैं. If you want the citation formats overview, और आप इसको explore कर सकते हैं. If I want to see the other one, देखिए इनमें से कुछ हो सकते हैं कि ओपन एक्सेस ना भी हो, बट देन दिस वन इज ओपन एक्सेस. यहाँ पर साफ साफ लिखा हुआ है कि दिस इज ओपन एक्सेस. If I go to this article, so this article you can get it. अब आप मुझसे ये पूछेंगे या नहीं पूछ रहे, क्योंकि आपको अभी बोल नहीं रहे हैं. ओपन में होता है तो हम फेस टू फेस होता है तो हम ज्यादा इंटरेक्ट कर पाते हैं कि देयर आर सर्टेन आर्टिकल्स व्हिच आर नॉट ओपन एक्सेस बट स्टिल मेंशन्ड है. दैट इज व्हाट द क्यूरेशन टॉक्स अबाउट. इवन आप अगर नेशनल डिजिटल लाइब्रेरी भी एनडीएल में भी जाएंगे तो वहां देखेंगे कि इट इज क्यूरेटेड. क्यूरेशन मीन्स कि उससे जो भी रिलेटेड चीजें हैं वो आपके पास आ जाती हैं. सपोज दिस इज एन आर्टिकल विच इज नॉट अवेलेबल टू मी. It is not an open access article. I'll just okay, this is it. I'll go to the link. Suppose it's not an open access article. Just मैं assume कर रही हूँ इसको. तो क्या होगा? But this article is really very relevant to the work I am doing. मतलब it's like कि आपको लगता है कि किसी ने आपसे पहले एक फाउंडेशन तैयार कर रखी है and it is not there for you to use. What to do? क्या कर सकते हैं आप? Yes, you come to know of it, and if there is an access to a library, say NCERT library, say मैं education की हूँ तो NCERT library है, तो I'll go to the library, and since these libraries have access to these repositories, this closed जो ये जो closed repository है, इसकी access as an individual मेरे पास नहीं है. बट एनसीईआरटी क्योंकि एक नेशनल लाइब्रेरी है, उसके पास इसकी एक्सेस होगी बिकॉज उन्होंने इसको सब्सक्राइब किया होगा. तो क्या होगा? तो मैं इस आर्टिकल को अगर मैंने नोट कर रखा है थ्रू दिस ओपन नॉलेज मैप, मैं वहां से जाके इसको एक्सेस कर सकती हूँ. So this is one way of doing things. So but then this is just to just to tell you as to this is the way we do it, and most of you may be doing it. I'm sure you must have found your own paths and ways of reaching the literature which you want to search for, but then this is the way. So this ये आपको एक तरीके से बता देता है इस particular. Sorry, I'll just go to this. Then maybe you will go back to the overview. So फिर suppose इसमें जाती हूँ मैं. So यहाँ पर ये सारे आर्टिकल्स हैं और जो ओपन एक्सेस हैं वो तो मैं आराम से बिना किसी प्रॉब्लम के मैं उसको एक्सेस कर सकती हूँ, अपने घर में बैठ के एक्सेस कर सकती हूँ. बाकियों में जिसमें ओपन एक्सेस नहीं लिखा वहां पर मुझे देखना पड़ेगा कि ये मैं कैसे एक्सेस करूँ. Right. So this is, I'll just repeat it again because I find it to be a very good tool, and that is why whenever I talk about technology and research, I often share open knowledge maps. आपको सिर्फ open knowledge maps डालना है. Open knowledge maps, Google बाबा को कहना है कि please Google बाबा open knowledge maps for me. So आपको यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा. आपको अकाउंट बनाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, आपको सिर्फ ये यहाँ पर ये हो जाएगा. Just a minute. Right. So अगर आप इसको चाहें show any, मतलब ये open access, अगर सिर्फ open access देखना चाहते हैं तो open access यही है, but then open access के साथ साथ show any में better रहता है क्योंकि आपको ये भी पता चल जाता है कि copyrighted या थोड़े से limited resources के साथ आप इसको अगर आप share करना चाहते हैं तो share भी कर सकते हैं, कहीं पर embed करना चाहते हैं. You want to embed this into, से आप अपने रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स के, आजकल तो पीएचडी के लिए भी 6 months का कोर्स होता है, तो आप उनके लिए कोई कोर्स बना रहे हैं अगर आप, तो उसमें आप अपने एलएमएस वगैरह में इसको एम्बेड कर सकते हैं उनके लिए. सो इट विल जस्ट एट वन प्लेस. फिर आप क्योंकि व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू डू इज यू आर ट्राइंग टू फैसिलिटेट फॉर योर लर्नर्स. सॉरी, इसमें अगर टाइटल के हिसाब से करना चाहूँ मैं, अगर तो ईयर के हिसाब से करना चाहूँ, all those filtering is available here. So they have come up with a beta version also, but right now I am not trying the beta version. So let me just, और अगर आप इस मैप को शेयर करना चाहते हैं तो ये इसका इन्होंने citation भी आपके लिए वो कर दिया है. And see, this is CC1. We are a charitable non-profit organization dedicated to improving the visibility of scientific knowledge for science and society. Then they ask you to make donations, they ask you to become a supporting member. ये तो जब आप उसमें interested हो जाते हैं तो फिर sky is the limit for you. But to begin with, it is CC by. Means आप यहाँ का जो knowledge है, यहाँ से जो आपको मिलता है, वो आप use कर सकते हैं, reuse कर सकते हैं, commercial के लिए भी use कर सकते हैं, and so on and so forth. So basically sharing it with you, this I have already shared. I'll just, okay. There's another way to, सपोज आपको लगता है कि जब आप किसी वेब पेज पे जाते हैं तो काश मैं इसको हाईलाइट कर पाती। पेपर होता है तो हम हाईलाइट कर लेते हैं, जो पीडीएफ होता है उस पे भी हाईलाइट करने का मिल जाता है, बट इसमें हम कैसे हाईलाइट कर सकते हैं? ये एक टूल जो होता है जिसको आप सपोज आप एक साथ कई लोग वर्क कर रहे हैं, या कई लोग नहीं तो एक सुपरवाइजर और एक रिसर्चर ही वर्क कर रहा है, तो आप उसको हाईलाइट और अदर एनोटेशंस वगैरह आप इसमें कर सकते हैं। वेब पे आप कैसे कर सकते हैं ये मैं आपको बताती हूँ। जस्ट अ मिनट, मैं जस्ट बंद कर दूं कुछ, इसको भी बंद करते हैं, इसको भी बंद करते हैं, इसको भी बंद करते हैं, इसको नहीं बंद करते। So this is called hypothesis. The whole word is के पहले एक dot है। I'll just type it again. So for the sake of hypothesis, es के बाद dot is, बस आपको इतना टाइप करना है and you enter. ये क्योंकि मेरा अकाउंट बना हुआ है और वो खुला हुआ है इस वजह से आ रहा है, बट लेट मी टेक यू टू द मेन पेज। So this is the main page. This is the main page जहां पर आप, it tells you annotate the web for anyone. टीचर्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स एजुकेशन में यूज कर सकते हैं, रिसर्चर्स यूज कर सकते हैं, पब्लिशर कोई भी यूज कर सकता है। सी हाउ इट वर्क्स। आप इसको, इट्स एन ओपन कम्युनिटी प्रोजेक्ट, मीन्स किसी के लिए भी है जो भी इसको यूज करना चाहे, एंड आप उसको एनोटेशन कर सकते हैं। यहाँ पर आप उसके बारे में और पढ़ना चाहें तो आप पढ़ सकते हैं, बट कैसे करेंगे मैं बताती हूँ आपको। आप इसको लॉग इन कर लीजिए, ठीक है। इफ आई लॉग इन, आपका तो आपका कहेंगे मैडम पहले कैसे लॉगिन करेंगे? नहीं, पहले आप साइन अप करेंगे। वंस यू हैव साइंड अप यू कैन जस्ट लॉग इन। सो आई हैव जस्ट लॉग इन थ्रू माय अकाउंट डॉक्टर निशा। ओके, ठीक है। उसके साथ जैसे ही आप लॉगिन करेंगे, आप अकाउंट बनाया, आपने लॉगिन किया, उसके बाद आपको ये क्रोम एक्सटेंशन करता है। दिस इज बेसिकली एक एक्सटेंशन हो जाता है आपके ब्राउजर पे, छोटा सा एक्सटेंशन होगा। आई डोंट नो वेदर आप यहाँ पर देख पाएंगे कि नहीं देख पाएंगे। एक मिनट में क्या चीज बंद करूँ? जस्ट एक मिनट, ये भी नहीं बंद कर, चलिए ये बंद कर देती हूँ मैं। वेब टूर, ठीक है, नहीं ये भी बंद कर देती हूँ मैं। यहाँ पर एक्सटेंशन नहीं दिख रहा है, एक छोटा सा एक्सटेंशन आता है यहाँ पर। अगर मैं एक्सटेंशंस देखूँ यहाँ पर, तो एक मिनट, ये मुझे बताएगा मेरे एक्सटेंशंस क्या हैं। Okay, this is not taking it. Okay, forget it. एक्सटेंशन छोड़ दीजिए आप उसको लॉगिन करेंगे। मैं आपको यहाँ पर दिखाती हूँ।
Ma'am, I think you muted yourself, please.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
So this is where you log in or get started. If I get started, if this will come like this, then you create a free account. Then username, जो मैं डॉक्टर निशा ही अपने नाम पे ही करती हूँ, मैंने बनाया था. Email ID, I have read the guidelines and sign up. अब ये मुझे बोलेगा आपका already account है. Yes, बोला ना इसने. So I'll just sign up. I will not sign up. It's not there. Okay, I'll not sign up. I'll just log in. I'll go back. मैं आपको सिर्फ ये फेस दिखाना चाह रही थी कि आप इस तरीके से कर सकते हैं. I'll go back. I'll still go back. I'll log in. ठीक है, आपने अकाउंट बना लिया, उसके बाद आप लॉग इन कीजिए. मैं अपने ईमेल आईडी से लॉग इन करती हूँ, या यूजर अकाउंट भी मेरा यही है. मैं लॉग इन कर रही हूँ. प्लीज yes, it has come. So ये एनोटेशन मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले किया था, और जस्ट चेक करने के लिए कि इट इज स्टिल वर्किंग. ओपन नॉलेज मैप्स. सो यहाँ पर मैंने ये एनोटेशन डाला था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई शो यू अनदर साइट. Let's go to a site called, let's go to Asian Journal of Distance Education. It'll take me there. Oh, Asian Journal of Distance Education. Just look at okay. You can go to any place. I just thought we'll go to there. It's not taking it. Okay, let me just go to another site. DOAJ. डायरेक्टरी जिसकी हम बात कर रहे थे, डायरेक्टरी ऑफ ओपन एक्सेस जर्नल्स. यहाँ पर हम आते हैं. It has an extension. It doesn't have no access needed. Manage extensions. Just a minute. It has got. No, it doesn't have an extension. जब आप हाइपोथेसिस में जाएंगे, जब आप अकाउंट बनाएंगे, मैं इसको बंद कर रही हूँ, तो ये आपको एक्सटेंशन के लिए बोलेगा. I don't know why it is not taking right now. Search me. ये extension के लिए बोलता है. I don't know why it is not working right now in that site, but it will take you to an extension here. आपके पास यहाँ पर get extensions for Microsoft. I'll try to do it here only. Say यहाँ पर हम कुछ करना चाहें, जैसे हम यहाँ पर करना चाहें अगर, तो ये extension क्यों नहीं? ये इधर ना कुछ तो इशू है इसमें. अभी टेक्निकल इशू लग रहा है मुझे. I'll just get started. Let me try with another account. I have to add a Chrome extension or hypothesis. This will be added in the Chrome. It works in Chrome. So I'll have to go to Chrome and add a Chrome extension. Get started. Chrome extension. It will add an extension to the Chrome. आपको ये Chrome web store पे ले जा रहा है, जैसे किसी भी extension को आप add करते हैं, add to Chrome. It can read, of course, you have to allow it. It is checking, जैसे normal जो checking होते हैं. इससे with this you can annotate, you can highlight anything on a website. So I'll just show you how. So that way you can share with your students what exactly you want to tell them. Create an account, because अभी यहाँ पर मैंने account नहीं बनाया था. I'll just log in. I'll just log in here. Or by default it is taking, क्योंकि मैं already login कर चुकी थी. So for example, I'll come to this directory and I want to tell my researchers that you have to see this thing very carefully. So now what I'll do is, इसमें मेरा जो extension है, एक मिनट, इसको मुझे पिन करना पड़ता है ताकि वो दिखे. ठीक है, so मैं इसको यहाँ पर इसको on करती हूँ. Is active. And if I have to select this, क्या हो रहा है? Something is getting कुछ block हो रहा है system में. It's inactive. Why is it inactive? I don't understand. Just a minute. We'll go to something else. Say if I come to this place, why is it inactive? Has access to this site. एक मिनट, हाँ. Let me just resolve this. कभी-कभी technology में ये चीजें हो जाती हैं. We just have to find it. The solution ये है highlight करने के लिए. Go forth and create an account. Why is it getting started? ये यहाँ पर हमारा start हो गया है. There's no annotation in this group. I am in public, right? Public में हूँ मैं. Close इसको मैं करती हूँ अगर. There's no annotation. If I annotate something, say if I annotate something here, then it is getting deactivated. Just a minute. Come to the main page. So this was it. This I had annotated. Let me just try annotating again. I'll go back. Let me open some site. I'll say IGNOU site. Why is it inactive? To create annotation, annotate. To create and highlight, which is only visible to you, you can give an account. I'll just close this and I'll just go to, say, IGNOU website. IGNOU website. And let me try it. I don't know why it is inactive. But if you try to select this, select this, the last date or any other information which is given there. Say if you about IGNOU, the profile of IGNOU, the preamble of IGNOU. So if we just select this, and we should be able to annotate it. Full access, hypothesis, no access needed. This extension doesn't need to see and change information. Hypothesis, this can read the site data on all sites, yes. Options available, remove from home, no. Unpin winning, manage extensions. Yeah, it's working, I don't know why. Allow incognito, allow access to file URLs. Okay, fine, I'll just allow that. Okay, let me just refresh it. This is there, and then if I try this, I'll try this. It should, a pop-up window comes from here. This is some problem. Some problem is there. But then you can just annotate it the way I showed it to you. Showed it to means I had already done it, that you can see. Right now it's not working. I'm just not able to understand why it is not working, but then it's not working. So if I click on this and I click on this, some issue is coming, which is, I don't know, because of the system or because of the interface we are having, iski wajah se, but then it is really not working, doesn't matter. We'll do the other things. Fine, but you can try it, just try it, and you will like it of sharing it. I'll just come back to my PPT. Give me 2 minutes. Yeah, it has come. Just a minute, where were we? Yes, DOJ. This directory also I have to show. I'll just show it to you. Before that, I'll just showing you hypothesis, which why it is live demonstration. It was not happening. There are certain there are certain search engines which are dedicated to it. For example, I'll just show you live. This is I'm sharing my browser. So even if you go to Google, simple Google, and you want to find open education resources, basically. So you just type Google here. You just go to Google India, Google Chrome, google.com. We don't want to. What's happening today? I just go to google.com. Just go to Google, and if you want to search something, say for example, you want to search something on cell, or you want to search something on say, okay, let's start with cell only. Then there's something called settings here. Settings here. Settings, then advanced search. If you go to advanced search, you will see that down the page, there's something called usage rights, which is not filtered by license. That means now you have the copyrighted as well as the open resources. then what is happening is you click on this and then you have free to use and share, free to use and share even commercially, free to use, share and modify, free to use, share and modify. Suppose I want to see free to use and share, advanced search. Now you will get all those material which are free to use and share. So that is, you can use these material for any purpose. So this is how you can use Google to search for it. But there are certain other search engines also. Let's deal with these search engines. See these search engines. One is called BASE, that is Buffield Academic Search Engine. That is by a university you have this search engine, Buffield Academic Search Engines, and through this you can search, see, these many documents from 8,205 sources. For example, now we want to search something on e-learning. So it will take me to all the repositories it knows of, the sources it knows of. See, it is a wiki book on e-learning. There's a wiki book on e-learning. Again, top 20 e-learning research topics, infographics by, as I said, metadata was important. Molas Castells Nuria, 2018, April 2018. Document type is this, content provider is this, and a little bit of description. See, so many resources are there, and can you see this Kula Tala open lock? This is for, that is, they are all open access resources. So University Buffield is there. You know, this is an initiative by University of Buffield, BASE, Buffield Academic Search Engine. So similarly, if I see expert, this is by University of Nottingham in United Kingdom. This is again a search engine currently for documents only, resources only, which is on all this education, history, business, all. Suppose here I'll type e-learning. So many pages are there. It will come. Image search for this result. These are the resources. Workshop 3, you will get some material. Cosmic and Learning Center. It is taking learning as a separate, the art of teaching the arts, creating rich learning environment, the way you search, the related content, license information. What is the license information? And if you want to share it on any of the social media or any other. So this is another search engine which you can use, again by University of Nottingham. Then you have Core, Connecting Repository. This is again an initiative by the universities and the agencies. This again, you see so many open access research papers you get. Say I want to see something on e-learning. Sorry, e-learning. It is showing me so many. Get PDF, e-learning as technology, e-learning by Torrance State, e-learning 2.0, all these. Even you can do filtration, the languages. If you want in Spanish, Indonesian, these languages are there. The journals. Remember I said PLOS, the golden open access journals, the scientific refer. The repositories also, a particular repository. Say I want in Elsevier. So I'll just click on Elsevier, the PubMed Central. If I want something on the sciences and e-learning, then I can click this. Say for example, I'll click these. So now from that repository it is giving this, all this is repository Elsevier. So how I cite it, similar articles, all these things are so easy if you use these search engines. So this is Core is there. Then you Google, I have already showed. Then free full PDF. There again you get certain scientific journals, scientific publications in life sciences, health sciences, physical sciences, mathematics. Say for example, I'll just say, since it's biology, I'll say, say microbiology. So it is giving me all the articles in microbiology. Microbiology learning site, NAB microbiology laboratory, fermenter, things like these are there, and these many pages. So this is free full PDF where you can see that. There are other like CC searches also there, but this is basically dedicated to open education resources. You get images and all. So just before ending the session, I'll just show you how to get the OERs also. So searching this, I've already shown you. Great. I just thought maybe if a system is not working, then I'll be able to show you. Then this is one directory of OERs, where you get OERs, DOER. Okay, I'll just come to this. I'll close. I'll close. This I'll close. This I'll close. This I'll close. Then I wanted to show you this hypothesis also we have done. This did not work well, but then I did try to work on that. Then Google, I'll just click on this. This I'll click, this I'll click, I'll close this. Then now we have one more. Oh, just a minute. I need another. Journal of Distance Education. The Asian Journal of Distance Education is a biannual. I'll go to the site. So the site will open. This is an open access journal. As you can see, this is this. Where is it written open access? It will written down. See, this is CC by SE. That is all the articles here, all the information here will be under CC by SE. Then it is an open access journal. Basically an open access journal because it is giving you access to the journal as an open access. And this is open journal software, and then everything you have available as an open access for readers, for authors. You can also contribute if you are from this field. Otherwise, you can. So similarly, you will get many more these things if you go to DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals, which I just opened for a brief moment earlier. Now you can see this is a directory. Please go and explore. Please go and explore it as you want. This is like you have, if you just go through it, you can see this is CC by SE. The DOAJ site and its metadata are licensed under the CC by SE. Anybody can use it. Then these many articles, 130 countries, these many searchable articles, these many journals are there. If you want to download the data, who are the sponsors, who are the volunteers, let's not go into that. But if you want to browse the material through, so you have these many subjects available: agriculture, education, fine arts, history, law, medicine, naval science. Let me go to just sciences. So these many records are available. View journals and articles. So now subject wise, these are there. Brain insulin sensitivity is linked. Relevance, you can decide which the title wise you want. Search all, or you can have title wise or keyword wise. Search the DOJ. So all those search engines are available here. Subject wise again. Science may be medicine hai, technology hai. These many articles are there. 3,07,949. बायोलॉजी में इतने हैं, zoology में इतने हैं, social sciences में इतने हैं. Because science है तो social sciences भी वो ले रहा है. Journal has a DOAJ seals, which are at a higher level. उनके साथ अपना वो है तो वो उसमें DOAJ seal भी होती है. Otherwise बिना DOAJ seal के भी articles होते हैं. Then journal licenses. Say if you want to really want it to be a part of your thesis or a part of your article or a part of your creation, then maybe you will take something like CC by essay or CC by. If you want it to be a part of it, but then if you take a CC by ND, it doesn't allow you. It doesn't allow you to make any changes, right? So you will not take CC by ND, CC by NC, ND. But if you want to make some kind of a module for which you are making some kind of a commercial activity also, they send the coaching or something like that. So then you cannot take this. So see, they have also, it's like, you have to appreciate the kind of categorization is possible in digital world, and people are doing it. And of course the publishers, there are certain publishers, like you have these publishers, like I said, Elsevier is, if I come to the main page, I'll show you the sponsors. There are publishers, the publisher members, and the sponsors. If you see the publisher members, so these are the publisher members of the, and then if you go to the sponsors, then you have the bronze sponsors and the silver sponsor. So Elsevier is the silver sponsor. Bronze sponsor, you see this, let's see, which basically started with this. APA Open is also there. Cambridge University Press, Sage, they're all there, and they're all the sponsors to this openness. Why? They are closed. They are closed to their publication, but it's like they also have some kind of a interest and incentive in the openness also, because openness reaches a larger population. वो ज्यादा लोगों तक पहुंचते हैं, क्योंकि उसके साथ पैसे का कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है, परमिशन का कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है. So it reaches to a wider level. So what people do is they use this openness to reach a wider audience, and then later for certain things they become closed. So they have these multiple models which we'll not be going to talk about in detail. So this is one directory of open access journals, which I really want you to explore if you really want to understand how, if you really want to use the these articles for research. Then I said open doer, open. Right. It's not coming. This again, I said, it's an open directory of open access repository. Here again, you get a lot of resources by country name. And as I said, this is NC by ND. The work is licensed under CC by NC by ND 4.0. How to use this content, they'll tell you. So if you want to search something, you just have to go and search in this in this directory. There are many other open access. Then one of the good open access is NTL, but basically it provides you National Digital Library. This again gives you a lot of access. This is one of the successful Indian government initiative, One Library for All of India. So here also you get a lot of, you just have to log in if you want to like be a part of it and have a record of it. Otherwise, for accessing, you need not be. So all sciences and literature. And again, this is curation. So all material may not be open to you. Open access नहीं होगा, but वो आपको बता देगा कि कहाँ का material है. Then of course you can just take like go and access that material. So if it is computer science material, so क्योंकि कुछ जगह वो जैसे MIT open courseware है या even IIT जोधपुर and all है, they want you to log into their system. वो NDL को नहीं देते, वो सिर्फ NDL को पता दे रहे हैं कि आप यहाँ से ले सकते हैं. It's as simple as that. Like हमने एक जगह पे बना लिया है कि आपको सारा मटेरियल यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा, कुछ मिल जाएगा, बट कुछ चीजें हैं जो वो लोग नहीं कहते, तो हम बोलते हैं उनके पते पे आप जाके, like you go to that place and you get that material. So those people want you to log into their account. So वो सब आपको देखना, थोड़ा सा यहाँ पर आपको देखना पड़ेगा, but this is again a very good resource जहाँ पर आपको बहुत सारा research से related material मिलता है. So I'll just close here and I'm open to the questions. If you want, I'll stop sharing. Then maybe if there are any questions, I'll take that.
Madam, there are a lot of questions, but because the time, it was so interesting, the lecture, that we forgot that we have to start up with the next session at 5 o'clock, and we have been joined. No problem at all. It was so interesting. It was so, we totally lost the time. We have to see the time also, and we have been joined by the next speaker also in the meantime. But it was such an excellent lecture. I thought that we could take up some questions, but ma'am, because the time is not permitting us, and I'm really thankful to you that how you started with the concept of openness to Creative License to Creative Commons. Then you started with all repositories, and the way you presented it, it was excellent, ma'am. And I hope that all the learners and all the participants must have got a lot of knowledge. They are asking.
I'm so sorry for not being able to take questions. But please write these questions. You have my email ID.
Yeah,
ma'am. Share it in the chat box. I can share in the chat box. Please write questions. You can send the questions to me. I'm extremely sorry for this mismanagement.
No, not at all, ma'am. It was so interesting that. And some of the participants have asked for your presentation recording. They want recording. I'll share with them, but they were so engrossed in the lecture that everybody is asking for the presentations, and I'll share your email ID also. You have shared, and I'll also share with them, ma'am. It was such nice listening to you, ma'am, and it was such an informative session. I was knowing, and few of the things which I was also not knowing, I've come across to them, today. I have my lecture tomorrow. I thought to introduce something as insert learning, and probably, which was very similar to the hypothesis which you were talking about today. So it was excellent.
I don't know why it did not work. I changed my system because the system I work in doesn't have webcam is not working. So okay. I changed over to this system, but I don't know where it is interfering. But then it's very simple. One just has to go and intuitively use it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm grateful from the deep core of my heart, from Department of Sociology and all the organizing partners of this FDP. And it was such an interesting and knowledgeable lecture, not only for me, but all the participants must have gained a lot, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
And apologies again for not taking questions.
Not at all, ma'am. Thank you. I'll share all the questions with you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.